Good morning, students. Very warm welcome to everyone. Today we are going to continue chapter 1 Living World, in which about bacteria. Let us start about bacteria. Bacteria, they are generally unicellular, ubiquitous organisms found in everywhere. They found in soil, water, air. It lives in decaying organic matters of plants and animals, animal waste, cow dung, cattle dungs. It lives in intestine of the human being. It grows as a parasite and infects the plants, animals, and cause number of diseases. According to the five kingdom system of classification, bacteria placed in Monera. Generally, they are prokaryotes, we used to say, because it's a very simplest organism made by only one cell. They do not possess membrane-bound organelles. The nucleus is not surrounded by nuclear membrane. There is no Golgi bodies, endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, except ribosomes. Ribosomes generally found in bacteria as well as all organisms. It's the only organelle that present in both prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Bacteria except ribosomes, other organelles are absent. Nucleus in bacteria called as nucleoid. Now, bacteria is a well-known organism, lives in the earth for a long time. In day-to-day life, bacteria which play an important role. Your mother is preparing curd from the milk. It's a very simplest process where she used to add a few drops of curd to the milk. After few hours later, it becomes curd. What is the secret behind? There are some bacteria present in the curd which release the acids. Lactic acid was released by bacterium by fermentation. The milk which contains the sugar called lactose is break down into lactic acid by the bacterium lives in the curd called lactobacillus. There are some diseases caused by bacteria. Example, typhoid, cholera. These are some of the bacterial diseases in human. Typhoid and cholera. Typhoid caused by Salmonella typhi, cholera caused by Vibrio cholerae. And another disease, tuberculosis, which caused by what bacteria? Did you remember? The tuberculosis is caused by tuberculosis bacteria, Mycobacterium tuberculae, the bacteria which causes tuberculosis, which affects our respiratory system. So, bacteria which play both beneficial aspects to the living organisms as well as it act against the living organism. We used to call it a friend and foe. Foe means enemy. So most of the bacteria are harmful to the living organisms, but even though they are harmful, some of the bacteria are beneficial in role. Example, Nitrobacter nitrosomonas helps in nitrogen fixation. Rhizobium used as a biofertilizer. Some bacteria which helps to produce antibiotics. Streptomycin, kanamycin, gentamicin, vitamins. Some bacteria useful in the production of organic acids such as acetic acid, vinegar, citric acid can be produced from the bacterium. The term bacterium was first coined by Harrenberg. Bacterium in the Latin language it is called a little rod. Early the bacterium was called as animalcules. They look like a small animal, so they were called as animalcules. When it is observed through by the Robert Hooke, it found as a small tiny organisms. Robert Koch, Robert Heinrich Hermann Koch, a German physician and microbiologist, he was the founder of modern bacteriology. He identified the causative organisms of various diseases, especially anthrax, bacterial disease caused by Bacillus anthracis, cholera, and tuberculosis. He proves the experimental evidences for the concept of infection by bacterium. He awarded a Nobel Prize in 1905 for the medicine and physiology. As I told earlier, Harrenberg, who coined the term bacterium at first in 1829, 1884, Christian Graham introduced staining methods in bacterium. David H. Berge published the first edition for bacterium, about bacterium. It's called Berge's Manual. Keep note down. 1928, Frederick Griffith, an English bacteriologist, a British bacteriologist who conducted experiment on bacterium and proves that the genetic material of the bacterium is DNA through by bacterial transformation. Frederick Griffith. Joshua Lederberg discovered plasmid. Lederberg discovered plasmid. He also studied about conjugation. So what are called bacteria? As I told, bacterium is a prokaryotic unicellular ubiquitous. Ubiquitous means found everywhere. Microscopic organism. The branch of science which deals with the study of virus virology. The branch of science which deals about study of bacterium called bacteriology. Anton van Leeuwenhoek, a Dutch scientist, discovered in 1676 bacterium and he called animalcules. He called us animalcules. Now, general character. Bacteria generally called prokaryotes because it is unicellular. No membrane-bound organelles are seen. Lack of nuclear membrane-bound organelles such as mitochondria and endoplasmic reticulum are absent. The genetic material of bacterium is called a nucleoid or incipient nucleus or genophore we used to say. The cell wall of bacterium is made up of peptidoglycan and other materials. The peptidoglycan is a polysaccharide. Most of the bacteria are heterotrophs because they do not have chlorophyll in their cell. So they are heterotrophs, cause infections by growing on host. Vibrio cholerae is an example. Some of the bacterium they are having pigments in the name of chlorophyll called a bacteriochlorophyll. Example chromatium. Bacteria generally divides by binary fission. Some of the bacteria which forms endospores. Bacteria which possess number of characters. They are undergoes sexual reproduction through by exchanging their genetic material between the two bacteria. Based on this, sexual reproduction bacteria are divided into three types: conjugation, transformation, and transduction. Other three methods are achieved by which genetic recombination or sexual reproduction that takes place in bacteria. Next, classification. Bacterium are classified into different groups are different types based on few criteria, based on the size, shape, mode of nutrition, and the nature of flagella, number of flagella, and staining methods. Bacteria are classified into different types. Here we are going to see classification of bacteria based on the shape and flagellation. Based on the shape, bacteria are divided into four major groups, namely coccus, bacillus, vibrio, and spirillum. Coccus, generally spherical in nature, Diplococcus, Staphylococcus, Tetracoccus. If two coccus bacteria together, called Diplococcus. Coccus singular, cocci plural. If many bacteria is found in cluster, Staphylococcus. Four cocci or four coccus bacteria together is called Tetracoccus. Sarcania is a method by which bacteria arrange in fours. Streptococcus bacteria are arranged or cocci bacteria arranged as chain-like structure. Bacillus, rod-shaped bacterium. Cocci are oval-shaped bacterium or round shape. Bacillus types. Bacillus means in Latin language called little rods. Bacillus bacteria, they may be grouped together like coccus, diplobacillus, streptobacillus we used to say. They are rod-shaped bacterium. The next, spirillum. These group of bacteria are having spirillum bacteria or group of bacteria contains the body as corkscrew, coiled structure. They have flagella also. The next is vibrio. Vibrio is a group of bacteria containing flagella in one end. Vibrio group of bacteria are look like comma shaped, so we call it comma shaped bacteria. This is the four basic types of bacteria based on the shape we classify. The next is flagellation. Flagella, flagellum, flagella plural, flagellum singular. It's a locomotory organ. Based on the number of flagella or arrangement of flagella, bacteria are classified into five different types: monotrichous, amphitrichous, lophotrichous, peritrichous, and atrichous. So bacteria is grouped into two types based on the presence or absence of flagella. One is called flagellated, another is called aflagellated. So absence of flagella in a bacterium called atrichous. Flagella arranged either single or in bundles in different polar or in same polar. Based on that, bacteria is divided into four types: monotrichous, lophotrichous, amphitrichous, and peritrichous. Monotrichous, bacterium which possess only one flagella in any one of the pole or any one side. The next one is lophotrichous. Two and more number of flagella has become a single bundle in only one side. So a bundle of flagella in only one polar end is called as lophotrichous. The next is amphitrichous. Three or more flagella which are found in both the polar end of the bacterium is called amphitrichous. Amphi, both the side. Peritrichous. Peri means surrounding. Bacterium which contain numerous flagella that all around the bacterial cell wall. Example, E. coli. Peritrichous means bacteria surrounded with numerous flagella. So I will stop up to here. You might have gone through about Today, classification of plants, bacterium. In addition to that, you discuss about life cycle of phage. Thank you, children.